Telling the story in verse. My name is My name is Brass Rabbit, and I will be your host for this evening. It's so good to see you guys here, and I'm actually so excited by the fact that I don't have 8,000 people staring at me right now, because every so often it's just like a little bit much. 80 people to have performed, and we have to get out of here by like 9:15 is like, so the math doesn't math on that, so it's really, really refreshing getting a little bit more of an intimate group. So as you guys may or may not know, I have heard this once or twice today. Some people didn't hear about the theme this month, and that's okay, not everybody can hear about everything, and you know, who knows. So, the theme for this month is Better Together. If you didn't know that, you will not be pulled off this stage for that reason, maybe another. But I will have you guys come up. If you didn't know that, that's totally okay. If you did, whatever, we're going to roll with it. It's May. Who cares? I don't care. I am so excited to have you guys here. We have storytelling, poetry, prose, spoken word, and anything else in between. I will move this carpet if you can tap dance. I've been trying to get a tap dancer up here. No one's taken me up on it. I will figure that out. You're going to have 5 minutes, and the reason why I have this thing in my hand is because we finally figured it out. At the 5 minute and 23 second .668 mark, whatever it is, you're going to hear, and that is going to be your signal to start wrapping things up. You need to skip stanzas. You need to move forward in the arc of your story, in what's happening. Kill the hero, cut to the chase. You most likely are not going to do that effectively, and you're going to keep sitting here and talking, and then at that 6.5 minute mark, you're going to hear that, and that means get off the stage, we have to leave. So please heed that warning. As you guys all know, for those of you who are seasoned here, you kind of know the drill. But now I actually have like a thing, and I'm really excited about that, so thank you so much. As far as content goes, it looks like we are all adults here, so you guys can be expressive and passionate if you would like. Cursing is acceptable. I obviously ask that no graphic violence, hate speech, etc. Something that doesn't seem like it would belong in this building probably doesn't belong in this building. You can figure that out. But cursing is appropriate. There's no children here. Do your best on the theme. If you can't figure it out, that's totally fine. A very, very big shout out to the Arts Council of Princeton for hosting us here and keeping the doors open. A little bit of a round of applause, please. For our first performer, who I'm so excited to bring up onto the stage, in the Anything Else You'd Like Us to Know About You, they wrote, recently became a self-published author. Yeah! Please give a big round of applause for Blake Alexander Brooks. Blake, come on up.
I was expecting to go first. Good afternoon or good evening. Yeah, I just recently published my book, Dry Cries and Catharsis. It's on Amazon. So I'm going to do a piece from it right now. Hopefully I don't mess up. Okay, this is called The Calamity of the Prison Poet. Where are the rhythms in my rhymes? Where are the symbols of my symbolism? All I see is repetition. Fake smiles constructed into sickening similes. The stylized textures of grit and gravel stain my style. Messed up metaphors spread all over the floor. I can't even stand my stanzas. I can't even stand to tell my captor that though I am enslaved, this black book is writing yet another chapter. It's not over till it's all over. It's not over till it's all over. So come, my friend, take a closer look, for death cannot close this book. As it is written, these words are life. This isn't poetry, this is potent flowetry. So come float me into the wild mind of God's child, 10 years ahead of my time. Still not in my prime, it's been a long while. I was locked up behind bars, they've tired away. I'm strong enough to carry it away, but I'm too careful not to get carried away. I've done carried away the bodies of those that try to bury me in. They can't keep a good man down, I was destined to win. Depression beat me down, but I was back in the gym, focusing on tapping its chin. You can't contain the container of purification for the contaminated. This is God's child, and the devil hates it. Even with that mask on, you still gotta face it. It doesn't matter the color of my skin or what my race is, because I am not in a race of racists. So who will stop me? I am the original. No original can stop me. Watch me as I exercise the worth of my work, fulfilling the purpose of why I'm on earth. My birth had my feet planted in the dirt. I was walking the shorelines and cruising the surfs. I'm the only black sheep in a room full of smurfs. Whatever made you think, even though I was locked up in chains and they were digging my grave, I was in soaring the skies and coasting the plains, somewhere in heaven, kissing the rain. Thank you.
All right, our next performer will be sharing some spoken word. They wanted us to know, I saw a rainbow on the way here. Please put your hands together for Puck. Puck, come on up.
Oh, wow, it really is a little intimate setting in here today. That's lovely. This is probably the shortest piece I will ever perform. I was going to write another thing to read beside this one, but I didn't do it, so. All right, this is called Beautiful Shades of Gray. When presented with tonight's theme, Better Together, I thought of writing about politics, about war and genocide and the left and the right, about how I'm a pacifist and how I still believe a peaceful revolution is possible. But that's a very divisive subject. People would probably get pissed, I reasoned, if I stood here suggesting that maybe, just maybe, everyone should love one another, regardless of race, sex, gender, orientation, belief system, or favorite dipping sauce. And I don't feel like being crucified tonight, so moving on. I thought of writing about the environment, about how we pretend we're above nature when really we are nature. We act like we can't hear the earth screaming over our noise. I thought about writing about that, I really did, but then I realized I lacked the credentials to stand here and preach about why trees are sacred and animals are kin, and how nature versus nurture was always a trick question. Briefly, I considered consulting Google or maybe even ChatGPT, but no, that simply wouldn't do. I thought about writing about a lot of things: war and peace, the meaning of family, the colors of the rainbow. And then my thoughts landed on you. Of course, how did I not think of it before? You're perfect. I mean, you're a perfect muse. Smart, funny, patient, kind, understanding in ways most people never even try to be. You're so sweet, I feel like I'm getting a cavity just thinking about you. You're talking to me about good omens and chicken tenders right now. Can you be any more adorable? The people watching me are probably already nauseated. Oh no, here comes another prose poet with a love poem about love because they're in love. Oh yeah? Well, respectfully, deal with it. I have a lot of love to share, and I have at least 3 minutes left. You, Gray, you are magnificent. I can't go an hour without thinking of you. Again, I know we barely know each other. I'm trying not to come off like a character from You when I say this, but I really like you. I picture us in mundane moments, folding laundry while music plays, arguing about whose turn it is to cook even though we both secretly want to, reading on opposite sides of the couch, sharing silence like it's sacred. I imagine you laughing, not through a screen, not through a message, but right there across from me, a real present together. And I guess what I'm trying to say is this. I've thought about all the ways we, as people, are better together, but nothing hits me harder than the thought of us. Not the revolution, not the rainforest, not the rainbow, just you, me, a chicken tender or two, and the tiniest, wildest hope that maybe you feel the same. Thank you.
As I've seen many of you are currently doing right now, and may perhaps would like to, if any of you feel called, or if you already have put your name in somewhere over by that table, just run it on over to me. If you find people's names on the floor, just run them on over to me. We'll find out if they want to perform or not in real time. But please feel free to just pop papers over there, and I'll do my best to not lose them. All right, up next we have a poem from Adam. Adam, come on up.
Thank you. I didn't know exactly the theme, but I'll go with, of course, stereotypically love. This one's called Always Spoken, Barely Felt. Those three little words that everyone wants to hear, that simple yet powerful phrase that makes you tear. Mostly overused and not heartfelt, just as easy said as it is spelt. Always told if I question it, it must not be real. Taught there is a chance when gone I might not heal. When it hits me like a wave, should be prepared for a storm that brings me to my knees, but makes me feel warm. At first sight, will be able to speak something so strong, leaving me so weak. Can only hope the feelings return, shall I get a chance for true love to be learned. Once you found love, do not let them go, or else when you look back, you'll reap what you've sown. The other one's a little bit love, but also applicable to Better Together, coincidentally. This one's called Healing. I know you're scared, and there's one person you shouldn't blame. Look into the mirror, and please don't feel ashamed. You're trying your hardest to let go of your past. No need to say a word, I will not ask. Gazing into your eyes, I can see the pain you get every time you think of his name. There is hope and trust behind this wall you've built, but sadly it's gated off by this overwhelming guilt. Feeling locked up in self-doubting chains, can't escape, completely restrained. Standing by your side, I'll patiently wait until you're ready for the right kind of mate. Just hoping what was taken was not permanently drained, so happiness can be restored from what still remains. I'll introduce you to the world beyond what you can imagine, to be consumed in compassion and not just fake attraction. You are special to me. My feelings burn like a roaring flame. Maybe one day you'll feel the same. Take your time, my unique shining diamond. Even with all your despair, I could see that you're trying. It's called It's Your Turn. It's your turn now to say how you feel when you look into their eyes and you started to kneel. Their contagious laugh that brings tears to your eyes, knowing you won their heart, the ultimate prize. Remembering how you met this wonderful soul, that striking moment when they made your life whole. Your future standing in front of you, there's a smile on your face, the one and only that cannot be replaced. How did you get so lucky to find someone like this? Just counting down the seconds until that symbolic kiss. Hands are shaking, you clear your throat, taking out the note that you cheerfully wrote. Describing your thoughts and feelings, you can't help but stutter, as your heart can't help skip a beat and flutter. You're done with your speech, you continue to breathe, the smile on their face, a sense of relief. A partner in life, a partner in crime, the most beautiful person with their glowing shine. It's time for those words, there's only two. It's true you're ready, so you say, I do.
All right, this is our first micro story. Savor it, we've only got 3. Tell us about a time you were changed for the better. The time I came to story in verse, and you liked me. You really liked me. And you're pretty cool too. Aww. All right, up next to the mic, our next performer would like us to know treats in June. Please put your hands together for Fidel Jules. Fidel, come on up.
All right. Well, I'm going to perform 2, and 1 I performed already, but I feel like allergies are out there, and I just need to say this again. It's called The Sun is Glowing. The sun is glowing, the flowers are blooming, the waters have become warm, it's spring. Spring is here, and it's beautiful. Yeah, no. Cut the cameras. I know when it's spring, my eyes are watering, my nose is stuffed beyond capacity, my throat is itching. No burning, no, it's both. That's my spring. Don't get me wrong, I love spring. I just enjoy it more indoors. Indoors, indoors, indoors. Take it away, crowd. Nonetheless, each year I perish in agony with the crustiest eyes like that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward was unknowingly awakened by that yodeling of that yellow sponge. Except this isn't your regular nautical nonsense, but the reality where my eyes tear without trying. God damn, I'm itchy. Take me back inside. I really am itchy. Trying to hold it together here. So ironically enough, not really ironic, using the wrong word here, but I thought the theme was belong together, but you know, it still goes. Belong, better together, you know. Same bees, about the same. All right, so it's called Drawn, Not Generated, like the last piece. The languages of the mother tongue so often forgotten, like us. Engaging in discourse, no, not discourse, truth. I am hell-bent on fighting truths. You're hell-bent on fine lies that match your motif, as if you're auditioning for a play requiring memorized lines coded in charisma. Leaving me in your arms that only pose questions, never answers, never certainty, nothing like happily ever after. Yet here I float in your ocean of fictitious mysteries and half-truths, begging the universe that I don't drown and you'll remember to guide me back to our home. I never needed perfection, simply someone who understood absolute truths. No, not text messages left unread, not baseless chemistry that forced intimacy only ever kept when the lights were off, with an immediate expiration at the flip of a switch. All I ever wanted was a love that stained, that last, like crimson blood, leaving remnants behind. Evidence I was touched, evidence that I endured. And as if the universe was speaking to me directly, you left. And another took hold, replacing fantasies with the reality of connection. A love that can exist without rehearsal. Your absence made me realize constellations are drawn, not AI generated. Because somewhere, the loving home I so deeply craved was presented in front of me, as if they were all I needed, two halves with baggage, brought together to form a whole, like the last piece of a puzzle found.
All right, up next to the mic for a poem, please put your hands together for Tyler Mitchell. Tyler, come on up.
So in terms of the theme, this poem is at least partly about the first time I worked up the courage to share a poem in front of people like yourselves. And I might still write poetry without anyone else listening, but it's better together, I think. All right. This poem is called First Time. Applause after the name call. Silence of the crowd. While the one-matched man gathers his hand, he takes aim, has a breath, and delivers his words to his best. Drugs are like sex. When you need it, you can't get it, and when you have it, you don't need it. He had rehearsed that line in his head 100 times, and out loud a few times more. And when he finally said it to the crowd, it felt good, really good. And the people laughed, or not. And that felt good too. It made the anxiety of the whole thing worth it. The butterflies, the late nights, the early mornings, worrying about the performance, getting to stand there with confidence and speak the truth as he saw it, made it all worth the while. There's something about sound, the vibration of the cunnilingus stimulating the senses, the metaphysical twist the wavelengths create once they slip through the physical gate, penetrating the skin, making its way within. Beware the man with the long hair who doesn't seem to care. He has either reached nirvana or is suffering of despair. Be careful to compare. Dive bars are fun until you find yourself next to the town drunk, and he's accosting you, spitting in your food and won't leave you alone, yelling from the top of his lungs. Warned more than once that one more time and he's getting the fuck out. He's been cut off twice, but a new keep just clocked in, and now he's back with a stout and a piece of his mind. This poem has no direction or no end. Thank you for your attention.
Tell us about a time you were changed for the better. I overcame my internalized transphobia and accepted that I myself am non-binary. All right, our next performer will be sharing a poem. and they did not write anything. They don't want us to know anything else about them. They're going to let us know. Please put your hands together for Ranjini. Ranjini, come on up.
Hi everyone. Hi. Hello. I tried writing something below the line, but then words were not wording for some reason. Firstly, I want to say that Brass Rabbit, you light up this place with your style and aura. Thank you so much. This is my third time at Story and Verse, and third time like spoken poetry ever. And every time I came here, I have been welcomed with warmth from all of you. I've come alone and I've left with warmth. This time I have my parents and my sister here cheering for me. So they have just come from India. They'll be here for 10 days. So I thought, yeah. So this poem that I wrote couple of months ago, it kind of goes with the theme. It's called Kaleidoscope. I learned that loving was a muscle memory when I reached out for you in my sleep, found an abyss instead, and it hurt as though my heart had lost a limb. I learned that loving was a muscle memory when my mother made coffee for 4, even after my sister went away to college. And then she put her mug away because there was way too much love in her system to remember that she was not home anymore. I learned that love was a muscle memory when my mother would bring home dishes that I loved from her office party. When my father would buy the same snack every other day because I told him once that I loved it. The way my grandmother would check in on me at 2 a.m., remove my spectacles, switch off the light, cover me up, and tiptoe out slowly. I learned that love was that extra mile for no reason when my colleague would sit with me until 11 p.m. because I had to work. The way my sister would sit next to me when I was sick and fiercely guard the door while I slept, lest someone disturb me. I hear low, threatening growls were involved when someone tried. I learned that love was in the unspoken signals when my friend knew that I was broke and brought me food, or when he knew that I felt low and sent me gifts. I learned that love was a fistful of nostalgia. We take pieces of people we love and make a patchwork quilt out of them to cover ourselves with when the world turns into a stranger. Like how my grandmother adds some rasam to her curd rice and says, "This was how my father ate it." Or the way she sings her brother's favorite song at 2 a.m. because she misses him. I learned that love was a taste of an emotion when I prepared my eggs sunny side up and ate it the way he would eat them, the white parts first, the yellow in the end. When I did not even like eggs, I just missed him. I learned that love was a language with words unique to each of us, and we, dictionaries, each different from the other. We learn the vocabulary of the ones we love. We borrow meanings, strike compromises, unlearn. A lifetime of dictionaries later, we are a kaleidoscope of all the love we have ever known. The more colorful and chaotic, the better. Thank you.
Our next performer would like us to know it's my birthday on Sunday. I'll be 57. Put your hands together for William Beck.
Hi there. It's Mental Health Awareness Month or Mental Illness Awareness Month, among other months that it is. And this is in honor of that. This is called Once Upon a Shattered Mind. Once upon a shattered mind, my universe is reeling. Dark matter seeps and obscures the cowering stars on my soul's vaulted ceiling. Once upon a view unkind of my life's ruined terrain, rusting ruins of schemes, half-finished dreams, and only my fragile self remains. Once upon a haunted past, apparitions assail you, pale visions of old addictions, and here your courage will not avail you. Once upon a ray of hope that slices through the gloom, that lights the long path leading up from melancholy's dark tomb. Once upon an outstretched hand that sees a face within my shadows, who lifts me from my Stygian mood so base to see Elysian meadows. Once upon a healing heart where small deeds are the truest words spoken, where life once more beats and lives and thrives, has made whole what once was broken. Thank you. And that is sincerely dedicated to anyone who has had struggles, currently dealing with that, or loves someone who does. And that's probably most of us in the room. This, I really wish this weren't still timely, but it is. And I've read this before, but I'm going to read it. This is Star Spangled Banner 2025 edition. Oh, say can you see, by reason's cold pale light, that the freedoms we guard are so quickly disappearing. With our city lights and our theme bars, we've forgotten our plight, and bad TV we watch as the Bill of Rights is vanishing. And the rocket's red glare show that we really don't care as we kill our foes in the night and our preachers say their war prayers. Oh, say, is that a MAGA banner I see being raised over the land of debris and the home of the slave? Thank you. Have a good night.
Our next performer wanted us to know. I showered for this. You're welcome. Please put your hands together for Suze.
Hello. So a story tonight, I didn't rehearse it. I'm glad you don't have me as the closer because it's not ridiculous. But I'm glad to be here. And you know, the theme, a very good friend of mine told me that the theme was better together. And I was like, oh boy. Because after about 800 ex-boyfriends and 2 failed marriages, it's not better together, it's not the first thing that comes to my mind. So I'm like, I don't have anything for this. And then I realized, you know, I actually have something really good. So my daughter, I have a daughter, 25 years ago when she was in kindergarten, let that settle in, she was at the Grace Norton Rogers School in Hightstown. And they had a practice of doing a variety show every year. And my daughter remains pretty reserved, pretty quiet. But she decided she wanted to sing a song in the variety show. This is not on brand at all. But I was like, yes, honey, let's do this. You want to try new things? T-ball, you sucked, but let's try this other thing. And so, I was a great mom. And I actually did end up coaching her in cheerleading, which was another debacle. But anyway, so she decided, we were big on Broadway, so she decided she wanted to sing a song. It was either from Oliver or Annie. That detail is lost to time. But they both involved some kind of pink dress from the thrift store that had like ruffles and it had some beads. And I took some, old faded plaid sheets and cut them up into patches and put them all over the dress, and some, like a little ash on her cheeks or whatever. And then we were poor, so that was on brand. And then, and we went to go, it was the big night, and I hoisted my 750-pound VHS recorder up on my shoulder. And, we're waiting out there, and there's curtains, and some dude was next to me. I don't know who he was either. And I was dating him, but I don't know, it's lost to time. And then the curtain opens up a little bit, and this little hand comes out, and it's like, and then I go walking, and I start hearing my daughter crying. And she's back there, and she's just surrounded by a whole crew of helpers, right? Her trying to, it's okay, Mackenzie, it's okay, you can do this, And I go up and I'm like, oh God, I gotta be a mom, right? And I'm like, you can do this, honey. Like hoping this is gonna be the thing that makes the crying stop, And she's just, in her little dress and it's running down her face, the little ash. And I'm like, no, sweetie, you can do this. You're brave. You're smart, you've practiced whatever the fuck the song is that you're gonna be singing. You're so smart. There's gonna be ice cream, whatever I need to do. And it's not helping, right? And so then this whole group of us hears behind us a voice. And the voice says, you can do this. And we all turn, and there's this little cherub, this little 3-foot high, big, smiling, grinning little boy, also dressed in a costume that I don't know what it was. But he is the son of the person who puts on the variety show. So this is old hat to him, literally. He's actually wearing a cap. So this is actually old hat to him. And he's like, you can do this, to my daughter. And there's a moment where nothing moves, and my daughter doesn't go anywhere, but stops crying. Right? It's like the parting of the Red Sea, right? And so he's like, come on. And he just walks over, this little teeny pint-sized little boy walks over the middle of the stage, and he pulls one of those stools out that you put next to the microphone, and he clambers up on top of it, and he's sitting there with his little feet dangling off the ground, and he goes, to my daughter. And miracle of freaking miracles, she walks out on the stage. And she sang that song, whatever the hell it was. I think it may have been little girls everywhere you look, everywhere I look you can see them, whatever that song is. Little girls everywhere I eat, sleep, and breathe them. It might have been that song, but anyway. And so then she finishes, and the rest of the night escapes me. The whole thing escapes me. What I do know is that kid became who I now call my kind of son, because he's been at my house, I don't know, 364 and a half days of the year for the next 15 years. It's the kind of kid where I had to buy his snacks. You know what I mean? When I went to the grocery store, he had texted me, Suze, we need water, He's the first person to call me Suze, by the way. I only like people who like me call me Suze. So he's now my daughter's best friend. I thought they'd get married someday, our great grandkids, but no. She's engaged with somebody else, and Matt doesn't really like girls. It's kind of a shock. When he came out a couple of years ago, my daughter said, oh, Matt came out. I was like, why did I not get the call first? And also, duh. But anyway, so I just want to tell you about the night that, I became a mom to my kindest son, the one I didn't get stretch marks from. But, I think about the romantic love piece, and it has been my foible, right? It's not been my strong suit. But, the idea of having somebody stand next to you when you need to be brave has whatever that thing is with time, has stood the test of time. So anyway, thanks.
All right, tell us about a time you were changed for the better. When I gave myself permission to get out of my own way. I'm serious this time. Woo. Woo. All right, up next for some spoken word, please put your hands together for Dylan Washington. Dylan, come on up.
All right, hi everyone. Hey. I wrote this piece a while ago. So better together, it's a luxury. Don't always have. So I get lonely sometimes. So this piece is really about me struggle connecting with others. And it's kind of like a rap with 2 verses, and it's called Blue. Vans with the holes, you know he skates. Kick, push, and coast with no escape. My friends got the side character fate. Kill 'em off, don't overcomplicate. Casually leaving casualties in my wake. You think I'd know better by age 28. Stonks, quants, can we even be brethren? That's the question of this confession. Sense the weird energy since grade 11. They turn sad boys. I duck depression. I too fear rejection, but pursue progression. Fragility, incompatible with my complexion. And this portfolio talk, it ain't impressing. Our community, the only worthy investment. Just digressing, I got no fans that listen to me, probably except Homeland Security. All right, second verse. No good NGOs, but still I flirt, searching for someone to share this hurt. Turn this earth into something of worth. Mom's method is the Methodist Church. Worship shook. They was praying for me. Left the MNE because they made me feel empty. Say I work for the state. Everybody eyeing me. Thatcher was right. There is no society. Dad wrote me out of the will. Mad, I kill liberals with skill. Called me an anti-capitalist. Can't see, rent-seeking is fascist. Me and my brother, we used to game. Ain't heard from him in months. It ain't the same. Who's to blame? Who thinks who is a lame? Disappointing everyone. Stuck on my brain. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Our next performer will be sharing a poem. Please put your hands together for Lena Joshi. Lena, come on up.
Okay, good evening. I just came to know about the theme this morning. So the poem is not on the theme, but I have something written before which will relate to the theme. So, also this is my second time performing here, so I'm still a little bit shaky. Also this poem is written for my younger self, but also for women who had to be their own protector, their own healers, and their own fire. I chose this poem because sometimes before we can be better together, it's important that we learn how to stand on our own. So this poem is called A Note to My Younger Self. I know you're scared, but little one, know this. You will make every struggle, every challenge a staircase and rise higher. And there will be days when all of it will get too hard. But little one, know this. You will somehow gather strength and move like a river, relentless, unbeatable. I know you're scared, but little one, know this. You will enter rooms built to exclude you. Make a seat at the table. You will stop asking for permission and watch yourself bloom. And there will be days when you will be too broken to carry on. But little one, know this. You will take every broken piece and put it all back together. You will move like wildfire. Uncontainable, unstoppable. I know you're scared, but little one, know this. The stones hurled at you, you will polish them into diamonds. You will wear the jewels of your becoming, not with shallow pride, but with your own truth. Thank you.
Tell us about a time you were changed for the better. Facing serious health problems, I've lost 165 pounds to date. Our next performer has taken the word "the" to places that I wasn't aware that it could go. They would like us to know, happy the sun is out. Oh, and follow me at A Benedict on YouTube. Please put your hands together for A Benedict.
Nice to see you all. Hey. Give it up for brass again. Melissa. And their new addition. Ever been stuck before? Not literally, physically, any kind of way. Stuck. Just stuck. This one's called Stuck. Ever been stuck, trapped between sleep and dreams, unable to move, hearing nothing except for your paralytic screams? Ever been stuck to the hour, minute, and second hands of an old grandfather clock? Traveling within hourglass sands amid the jump scares, the tick-tock? Ever been stuck in a revolving door, dropping you in the same place? A spinning, dizzying vortex with no limits or space. Ever been stuck and trapped as if standing in a never-ending line at the DMV? Bored, dispassionate and angry, drowning in a state bureaucracy's raging sea? Ever wonder what it all means while searching for meaning? Emotions swirling like winds blowing, laughing, crying, and screaming. Send your apathy back to hell and rise like the phoenix from your strife, crushing boredom where you used to dwell. You ever take control of your life? Thank you. Fire and ice. I am the fire burning eternal nightmares into the backs of your eyes. I spread ice onto your path, freezing your steps between your hurtful lies. Engulfing, flaming, scorching your earth as you run and dance, avoiding the burning orange embers, torturing you, gleaming below. Ignoring your pleas and insincere apologies, freezing you out during your time of need, watching as you hang from your cross, your self-imposed crucifixion, as you struggle and bleed, burning your dreams into ashes, making Dante's Inferno look more like a playground. Summoning your legions of demons, bellowing a cacophony of screams and the evilest sound. Frozen hopelessness icing your abysmal eternity, like the frosting on your favorite cake, hoping you never taste again. While I enjoy my own slice of heaven, you had to cross swords with me, challenging me to a duel to the death. Your endless toiling, antagonizing and torturing, trying to destroy all I have built. Thank you. Let's lighten it up a little bit, huh? This one's about a place, any kind of place that you'll find me in quite often, which is a bar, a nice pub. So, it's called Swatting Barflies. Swatting Barflies. Spirits flowing at the local pub, hosted by Johnny Walker, Jack Daniels, and Jim Beam, offering polished glasses of warm, welcoming conviviality, poured by the bartenders on duty, serving like sentries. Guests arriving, waiting to take their liquefied flight from the oak-and-varnished runway inside a warm, toasty, heavenly pub as they brave another cold winter evening. Barflies smiling, joking, laughing, drinking, slurring, cursing, spending time forgetting about life's stress as they continue immersing themselves in pools of bourbon, scotch, and beer. Lovely, quiet visitors embraced by hugging regulars, welcoming the newbies into their lair as if they were lifelong friends. Talking and drinking, stories they share, reminiscing about what hasn't even come to bear. Darren, the bartender, is playing the taps masterfully, like a musical playing piano prodigy. Drinks clink as leering men wink creepily at others just trying to enjoy their night out. Ozzy's behind the bar, stirring cosmos, shaking martinis and mixing whiskey sours, like a Vegas card shark dealing happiness and hope, counting the seconds, minutes, and hours. Night closes with an old man sitting in his corner seat, a fixture in this pub, now dark, stuffy, and cold, silently sipping on his old-fashioned alone, with thoughts about this pub's days of old. Thank you very much.
All right, up next, you can find our next performer at www.thenakedsoul.org. Please put your hands together for Padmaja. Padmaja, come on up.
Not every child births a mother. Some look at the fetus as a parasite. My own faint cries, oft ignored, became my lullaby. They let me be, to tag along. I grew up unbelonged. Frayed at the ends like a torn denim, I picked up the dregs of peripheral headaches. My fears and dreams infused with abuse, I sought the chains of anxiety, recursive comfort in their predictability. The dents and dings played out in thoughtless flings. Reality warped my fingers as I held to angst my father, misery my mother. Those were always there for me. As I tried to erase a lifetime of agony with ecstasy, gosh, the irony. Mummified by reality, years passed in obscurity, eyes clouded by weed and a definitive lack of emotional dexterity, until one day, out of nowhere, my child birthed a mother in me. Drilled a placental tunnel into my soul, the umbilical they thought they severed, unbeknownst to them, ensnarled my heart with a constant walkie-talkie of dialogue. Long before the nose of terrible twos or the pangs of teen angst, my own orphanage, erased by my parentage, with every diaper change and kiss on a bruised knee, I was born again as the mother in me. Thank you.
All right, up next to the mic, please put your hands together for a poem by Mark. Mark, come on up.
Hello. These are 4 poems, and they're new, and they're better together. The first one is dedicated to all women. I would never want to be a woman. Caring before hello, universal conversational connection as if an invisible club membership existed. I would never want to be a woman. Sympathy, waiting to unfurl fruitful words for the needy with implanted seeds of trust and reassurance. I would never want to be a woman. Products of self-upkeep for imaged beauty, society's smile. I would never want to be a woman. New life formed, caressed in hopes of minimal tragic possibilities. Love's endurance. I would never want to be a woman. Dreams horizontally outlined in tomorrow's promised sunrise. I would never want to be a woman. Thank you. Now, the next 3, at this age and stage of life, 2 things seem to be happening. One is you get this keen observation of youth, and the other is a different relationship to time. The first one is called youth. The lack of experience becomes a show of confidence. Fragility of self-image is shaken by a disapproving cough. Tight hugging clothing reveals all and exposes nothing. Body is presented before mind and character. Intimacy, caring, and possible love guide every sneakered step toward an unknown, rigorous vigor, wanting a future of vitality. Thank you. That was youth, and this is time. It's called the motion of slow. We get up when we want. Midday breakfast teas explored just for the duration of taste. Conversation becomes research. Food is a discovery of health. The day's activity are anticipated with consideration for tomorrow's time. There is always a sense of waiting. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for Samir. Samir, get on up here.
When I was thinking of Better Together, I couldn't think of anyone except my wife. So Better Together. I was always a loner, but she loved to mix and mingle. With friends and family, she loved the outdoors. I hated the dirt and the grind. The opposite of what I did, but we got together and ended up better together as we appreciated each other. We came to love our commonalities and differences because we had an innate respect for each other. And in time, I changed my ways. Seeing what she saw in what I did, the world through her eyes, and the most important thing was being together, ended the loneliness we felt but never expressed. In the end, as we look back at the years gone by, through thick and thin and challenging circumstances, we were better together as we were made for each other, born for each other, always together. Thank you.
Our next performer has been waiting very patiently. Please put your hands together for Lillian for a poem. Lillian, come on up.
When my husband Mark told me the theme was Better Together, the first person I thought of was my grandfather. And some of the best times of my youth were with him. He always made me feel special, and I loved him dearly. He did so many little things, like giving me the best piece of fruit, or sharing his songs with me. And he was very kind and gentle and generous and loving, and I just loved being with him. We spent many years together, and I can't even begin to tell you how I would just, in the 50s, love to watch cowboy movies and pictures, and Hopalong Cassidy and The Lone Ranger with him. Just sitting in the living room, watching TV, not even saying anything. We just had a feeling together. I don't think we ever told each other that we loved each other. We just knew it. We just didn't have to. As he grew old, he had several strokes, and then he had a very bad one. When he was in the hospital dying, I was 15. I went to see him, but as I looked in the room, I saw all the tubes and how white he was. And he tried to remove the IV, and they restrained him. And I looked in, and I saw him, not clearly, but I could see what he was like. And I couldn't go in. I couldn't go in. I told my mother, I don't want to remember him that way. The day of his funeral, I kissed him goodbye. But we are poets, and we don't have to accept the truth in what is. We can recreate our own history. So, this is my recollection of my visit with my grandfather on the morning of August 25th, 1961. From the silence of age, he contemplates dust. Then his eyes behold me and whisper their trust. Bending beside him, his hand I take, as the skin of my blood ebbs in the wake. With the grief of love, his brow I kiss, but the taste of death I cannot dismiss. Crystal clear droplets are absorbed by his sheet, and in his warm eyes, my reflection I greet.
Our next performer is a professional motivational speaker. Their books are open. So if you need to be motivated, give Janet Latoya a call. Janet Latoya, get on up here!
Hi family, how you guys doing?
Hey!
Good? All right. So the theme for tonight is better together. Yes? I'm better together, you're better together, self is better together. All right? I hope I find my healing on these pages. This is more than paper. This is a table that I created to produce a mindset and habitual behavior that will cause a pivot in perspective to help me to align with the intention of producing more within myself versus what I once gave consistently to others. I've poured from an empty cup for so long that my hands got tired. They grew swollen from hitting the mark on someone else's target versus zoning in on my own. I ran from my destiny, played hooky with my dreams. I was dressed in procrastination and decorated with self-sabotaging behavior. My clothing was stitched in anxiety. I broke free from that, hoping that someone else would see me, notice me, and find me, but it is my responsibility to put the pieces of me back together. Now here I am, solely relying on the one who sent me. Self-discovery is the most beautiful adventure that you'll ever take. I am my greatest investment. I am one of my best treasures, searching to find who I already am and or already capable of being. The clearer I become on how life works, the more I will begin to hone in on activating my soul hymns that make a key difference in what I allow, answer to, and decide on, all while living out loud. I found myself again, right here, now, on this page, at this line. I pray I never lose me again. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Oh my God, oh my God. What a privilege and blessing. And to be out of here before 8:30. We have the rest of the night. All right, so you guys can find me, yourselves, and everybody else back sleep. Yeah, I would love that. I mean, let me just thank, a big thank you to the Arts Council, a big thank you to Melissa, Fiona, everybody involved.